Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natasha, and if you are here for the first time, then welcome, and if you're not, what to do, welcome back. Yeah, in today's video I will be talking about my journey in being single intentionally for a whole year. So I'm going to share how I got to that decision, and I'm going to also share 10 things that I learned from this experience. Okay, so before I start, I just want to put it out there that there are different ways to finding yourself, and this was just mine. And also, I want to say that God does not force us to do things. So this was something that God definitely called me to. He definitely called me to intentional singleness. It was just a day in, I think, May. Yeah, this is when my year started, May of 2019, and I was just spending time with God. I was having quiet time with God, and I just so audibly heard him, and he was saying, Natasha, I want you to be single for a whole year, for 1 year. I want you to dedicate your life to me. Because prior to that, he had just shared news, a certain detail about my future, and I think I was just so consumed in that thing, right, in that revelation, and I didn't really know how to handle it. And so he called me to singleness. Honestly, I wasn't ready for that. Honestly, I wasn't very happy about that. Honestly, I just didn't want to do it. But after really sitting down and thinking about it and pondering on this, I figured that that would be the best thing for me and my relationship with God. And that, you know, you only, after marriage, and after you get into a relationship that is heading towards marriage, you don't have your singleness anymore. And I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna be single forever. Who knows, I might be. But you're not gonna be singleness forever. Oh, hey. You will not be single forever. Okay, that is if you are not called to singleness, which is also that's a whole other topic. But anyway, this is not about that. So I wasn't gonna be single forever, and I thought, if it's the best time for me to be pursuing God, is now the best time for me to be finding out what he wants from me, and the best time for me to be drawing even closer to him is when there is no distraction and there's no one around who is going to hinder that or stunt my growth, you know. So, and I'm not saying that we can't stunt our own growth, but anyway, so I made the decision to then go on intentional singleness. It didn't take me long to agree to it. It was quite immediately after, English guys, but you know, it was after he asked me or called me to it, and I had a choice, and I decided to go ahead with it. So the journey overall, so it was May 2019 to May 2020, so it's over now, and I'm not expecting my future husband to come and fall onto my lap now. I might still be single for more years, who knows, but I believe that it was just so important that I dedicated time to God and God alone, that even if someone came along, I just wasn't going to compromise that. That's the difference between intentional singleness and just being single, because now I'm at a point where I am open to talking to people now, but before I just wasn't, or I still kind of finding my way around that. But before, in my year of singleness, it was not up for discussion. Like, I was just not up for talking to anybody's son. I was just not going to entertain anybody's son. I did slip up a few times, but I got right back into, you know, yeah. So these are the 10 things that I learned in my experience with being single intentionally for 1 whole year. Number one, I have learned, guys, that singleness is a gift. Singleness is a gift. It is a gift. I used to look at it like, if you're single, you're ish. Why are you single? Being single is just boring. You're just lonely. You feel unfulfilled. Like, those are just lies that God really just ripped away. Like, he just wiped all of that out. I discovered that singleness is really, really a gift. And it was also a real relief for me, because I knew that, wow, I can really just focus on my relationship with God, on me alone, on growing myself, on becoming the woman that God has called me to be, that Proverbs 31 woman that he wants me to be, which I am still working towards becoming. But I just feel like it wouldn't have been the same with me being in a relationship, because a relationship takes a lot of commitment, and also in my learning the importance of being single, and the gift aspect of it was that it takes a lot to be in a relationship. You need a lot of things. You need to have got to a point of emotional intelligence. Like, your emotional intelligence must be, your maturity. You need wisdom. You need to be able to hear the voice of God if you want to get into a successful courtship, and and as a result, a successful marriage. You need a lot. It's not child's play. That's one thing I learned in my singleness, and God was just really revealing all of these things to me, by highlighting how amazing singleness is. And he also showed me that it's not a bad thing to be single for the rest of your life. There are people who have been called to singleness in the Christian community. There are a lot of people who have been called to singleness and have answered that call. We have Paul in the Bible. He was a single man, and just look at the fruit of that. So I also got to learn the amazing power of being single. Paul was able to dedicate his whole life to God. Now, don't get me wrong, I've also learned that being with someone and being in a relationship with someone, God has made me see the calling aspect of it, in the sense that, okay, so God gave me the desire to want to get married, and now I understand it's because he has a kingdom assignment for me and my future spouse. So it's more about the assignment that we have together than my personal benefit from this relationship. So I really, really, really learned a lot in terms of the gift of singleness, and what it really means to be married. I obviously don't know, because I'm not married, but it takes a lot. Okay, so the second thing I learned in my year of singleness was patience, guys, and submission. I had to really learn that, whatever God has for me is not just gonna come falling out of the sky, and I'm not just gonna receive whatever it is I'm yearning for, whatever it is that he's placed in my heart, or whatever he's promised me, that I'm just not gonna receive it overnight. And that those things are things that I have to be patient for. I have to have a spirit of long suffering. And these are many different things, not just in the aspect of waiting for marriage, but also waiting for opportunities, waiting for my healing, waiting on all these different things. So that's one thing I learned. And also submission. I'm not even gonna lie, like, I was just not about that submission life. I just was not. Sometimes I would say, yeah, I am, but honestly, I hated when people told me what to do, in general. so much less a relationship. Like, I just wanted to do my own thing all the way. And I've learned now the importance of submission, because I was able to learn true submission to God in this time, by laying down my life, my wants, my needs, my desires before God, and saying, I can put these dreams aside for what you want for me, God. So that's another thing I learned. Number 3, I learned the importance of finding my God-given purpose, my kingdom assignment. Guys, I can't stress enough the importance of finding your assignment, what you are assigned to. It is so important for finding that, to find that, because that is why you exist, number 1. And number 2, it is also important for you to know that in order for you to know what type of relationships you should be entertaining, and it's not just in terms of a relationship with a significant other, but also in every area of your life, like business partners, like friendships, all of these different things, and also your place in the church, because we all have a role to play in the edification of the church. So finding what that is very important, because that's also going to contribute towards your relationships. That is how you will be able to also find and sort of figure out who your significant other is, because you guys will have an alignment with your kingdom assignment. Okay, God will not give you someone who is on the complete end of what you are meant to do. There will be some sort of alignment. There will be compatibility. They will just be in alignment, man. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I learned. Another thing I learned. Number 4, intimacy with God is the best kind of intimacy. My guys, I'm telling you, like, whoo, yeah, I've experienced the sweetness of God. Like, I have experienced that beauty, and there's just nothing in the world that can top that. That's just something that is just so irreplaceable. Like, there is nothing like that. I have learned that is the most important thing, and also that there are only 2 places that true intimacy can be experienced, and that is in the covenant of marriage and with God. So I've really learned the importance of an intimate relationship with God, a personal relationship with God. Number 5, I have learned the need for healing in my life. I have not learned, like, I knew that there were areas in my life that were like tense, and I was broken, and I needed healing, but it was really highlighted in my singleness, like in my time of intentional singleness. God was just like, you need healing in this area. You need to surrender this. You still haven't healed from that childhood experience, or you still haven't done this, or you still haven't healed from the decisions you made in high school, or whatever it is. There are just so many things that just and I was just like, so the need for healing. And I'm on that journey, right? And I'm not saying that I've healed from everything. I haven't. I'm still learning, and I'm probably going to heal for the rest of my life. But the acknowledgement, the fact that I can acknowledge that I need healing, is a step closer to my healing, instead of me like not acknowledging it, not trying to deal with it, just putting it to the side. I know that I have things to heal from, insecurities that I need to get over, but that's the one thing I learned. Number 6, my true worth. I have learned what my true worth is, and found a sense of identity. God really poured into my life. He really showed me how much he loved me, and it's sort of like he took me from myself and made me see me the way he sees me. So I know what I'm worth, you know. I know what he sees me as, and I know who I am. And even though this journey of finding my identity is an ongoing one, I have found a sense of it. I know where I belong, and I know who I am more than before. And this is something I learned in my year of intentional singleness. Number 7. Okay. Number 7, accountability is key. I have learned that accountability is key. Guys, I wouldn't have made it through this journey of singleness if it wasn't for the girls that were holding me accountable. If it was not for my girlfriends that God assigned to me and that I was assigned to, guys, I would have failed hard. If it wasn't for my roommate last year, who would ask me, so who are you hanging out with? So this and that. And my friends, like, they know themselves. If they watch this video, they know themselves. They held me accountable, guys. I could not get away with anything. I couldn't get away with it, like, because we had that accountability and we had agreed that we would hold each other accountable. And that is so important. Your kingdom friends are so important. Fight, guys. Friendship is a gift, guys. So I really learned that accountability is key, and it stemmed from this, right? But it spread out to other areas of my life. Being accountable, being accountable to the fact that I was put in a position of leadership, and I had to be held accountable for that. Many different things, but accountability is key. That's one thing I learned. Number 8, have healthy, I don't know what I wrote here, but healthy guy-girl relationships are possible. I don't know why I believed this, but I just never thought it was possible ever to have a healthy guy-girl relationship without someone falling for the other one eventually. And it is difficult to maintain a healthy guy-girl relationship, but if you set boundaries, which brings me to number 9, boundaries are important. If you set the right boundaries, it is possible for guy-girl relationships to flourish. Okay, so let me just give some examples of the boundaries I've set. I set boundaries to what exactly I share with my guy friends. Okay, so I can't be sharing my most deepest desires with them. Those are things that I would share with my closest companions, which is my girlfriends, okay, or I would just keep it to myself. But I've set boundaries as to what exactly I share with them. I've set boundaries as to how much or how often I talk to them. I set boundaries in a sense that when I do see that something was going too far, which helped me maintain my singleness, I would communicate that to them. And if need be, I would communicate the journey I was on, just so that they can respect that, okay? If it got to that point. So I learned that it's possible to have healthy guy-girl relationships, guys, if you set the necessary boundaries, if you just know the purpose of the relationship and you have healthy boundaries. You're not sunrise texting them all the time. It doesn't work for everyone, but like, I also had to be aware of how late I was texting people and how often I was talking to people, just to keep this thing going and keep it healthy and keep it pure. So yeah, that's one thing I learned, that it's possible, and I had many flourishing guy-girl relationships. Oh, so number 9, boundaries are important. Set boundaries. Woo, guys. In order for this journey, for this year to be successful, I had to set a lot of boundaries. Okay, so it was in terms of my guy-girl relationships. I had to set boundaries in that sense. I had to set boundaries with also just sort of spread to other areas of my life. Learning the importance of setting boundaries for yourself taught me that I have to set boundaries in other areas of my life as well. And not just relationships, but like, things that I'm consuming, things that I'm watching. How far am I am I oversharing things with my girlfriends? Do I need to share certain things? Am I, are people aware of my boundaries? A lot of different things, but just boundaries are so important. So important. Boundaries are really helping me in my journey of purity in mind, body, soul, but just purity in general. Just pursuing purity. In order to successfully pursue purity and achieve those daily goals, you need to set boundaries for yourself, and you need to set goals. Yeah. Number 10, Jesus is enough and contentment in Christ. Guys, more than anything, I put this at number 10 because I don't know, I just wanted to end up with it, but it's one of the most important things that I've learned, that Jesus is enough for me. Jesus is enough for me. He's enough. And even though he has spoken things over my life, and he has promises that he has spoken and given me, I am at a point of contentment whereby even if those things don't come to pass, I'm okay with that, because he is just so enough for me. He's just so glorious. He's just so amazing that is actually all I need in this life. I know that God won't break his promises, and he is not a man that he should lie, but those things come after him. Christ-centeredness is so important in your journey of a life. Yeah. Oh, so this just came to mind right now, so I'm just gonna add it. Wholeness is key. Wholeness is key. You need to be whole. You need to be whole in order to be a healthy individual for the people around you, in your intimate relationships, in your friendship circles, in your business circles, in your household, wherever. In order for any of your relationships to flourish at the maximized level that God desires, you need to be whole. You need to pursue wholeness. You need to be a whole individual. Okay. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for watching this. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. Please comment down below if any of you have gone on this journey of intentional singleness. Am I the only one? And also, I just want to say, if you're considering it, go ahead. Or if this is the first time you're hearing about it, try it out. And you're single, try it out. Talk to God about it. But I 100%, 10 out of 10 recommend because I am a different person a year later, and I'm so happy I could do this. I'm so happy that I had the privilege of going on this. I'm so happy that I got to a point of seeing the importance and the blessing that singleness comes with. Yes guys, I'll see you on my next video, and please do leave video suggestions down below, preferably in the border of Christian videos, but let me know what you think. Like and comment, and share. Thank you guys. I will see you in my next video.